common sense recap of the day's biggest stories. It's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby. Cats and Cosby on 77 WABC.
And joining us now here on Cats and Cosby is Joe Concha, Fox News contributor, also great columnist, and the author of a new best-selling book, Progressively Worse. Joe, give us the latest. You were talking about some of the new polls and the trends that are happening for Trump, despite the media clearly working for Kamala.
Incredible that what we've seen over the last 5 weeks, Katz, Rita, as far as a media coronation like we haven't seen probably since 2008 and the slobbering love affair that we saw for Barack Obama, but this has even been infinitely worse. And you would think after all of that, and Kamala doesn't do any interviews, and Tampon Tim Walz doesn't do any interviews, and all she's getting is all this adulation, and boy, she's the next great thing. And after all of that, Nate Silver, who does forecast models and probably as well as anybody out there, now shows Donald Trump with a 14-point advantage in terms of his chances of winning over Kamala Harris. So you see the trend now. It was 9 points, then it was 12, 13, now 14. Things are going in a wrong direction for her. And I think because of her economic policy and that what she announced 2 weeks ago now, where she talked about price fixing and price gouging. Katz, obviously, you're very familiar with profit margins in the supermarket industry, and she thinks that's going to solve the problem. That was a big reveal right there, because we haven't heard her really talk about it since, because everybody, including the New York Times, CNN, Washington Post, says this is a really bad idea. So I think once she starts speaking more and people really get to know her policies and what she wants to do to this country, which is completely destroy it and transform it in a way like we've never seen before, I think that's where Donald Trump really has the wind at his back. But it all comes down, that's a debate, September 10th, a little over a week from now, actually a week from now, and I think about it, it's already September 3rd, 80 million people tuning in. If Donald Trump is disciplined, he sticks to his economic message, sticks to his immigration message, Kamala Harris will be put away, and they'll be looking for another candidate before we know it.
Well, we are doing a poll at WABC, and is Kamala going to show up for the debate next the 10th? Because my belief is that, she's a little bit on the light side, and she's fighting a heavyweight in Trump. So where does she get more votes? Not showing up, or showing up and making a fool of herself? Then she has no chance of winning.
It's a lose-lose situation, right, Katz? Because we're already seeing her now trying to have it both ways where, oh, no, actually she wants cheat sheets now at this debate. She wants Donald Trump's mic on so she could do the I'm speaking now that she did with Mike Pence. She wants also to be sitting down instead of standing up. Why is she renegotiating all these things that Joe Biden and Donald Trump already agreed to? I think because she does want an out. Because we watched that interview last week, if you want to call it an interview, talk about like a hot stone massage that she got from Dana Bash, where there were almost no follow-up questions. She didn't have any energy. She looked tired. It looked like a parent-teacher conference with Tim Walz sitting on one end of the table, and there she is. And all the joy seemed to be out of the room all of a sudden, and she just didn't look comfortable because she's not comfortable in her own answers because she's changed positions so many times. So I think she wants out, but if she does that, it will look so bad. But then again, it could be infinitely worse if she shows up.
Well,
I
maybe
think it's going to go worse for her than it did with Biden. Go ahead.
Well, Joe, I don't believe she has the knowledge to be able to learn it in the next 9 days. So the question is, how does she look less bad? Because if
that's the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. And that's my opinion. Rita?
Yeah, you know what, Joe, I agree with John that the other thing, too, that I noticed, and kind of piggybacking on what you were also saying, is that interview. In the interview, she looked like she got that canned line from somebody. My values haven't changed. She kept saying it over and over again. It looked like she couldn't handle even just a basic question. How is she going to handle like 20 canned lines that they're going to try to throw at her for the debate? It is going to be an astounding moment. And I really thought the interview hurt her. To John's point, I thought she looked kind of vacuous. And listen, I am a huge women's supporter, but I thought she would do a lot better. Yeah,
the one question she got, which is, if you're going to anticipate any question, it is, what are your plans on day one if you get elected? And she couldn't answer that question, right? And then she went into how important the Green New Deal is and climate change. Like, uh-oh, you're going to go down this path now at this point? And she lied. She blatantly lied when she said, no, back in 2020 on the debate stage, I said I was pro-fracking. I'm for fracking. No one can find a transcript around this. So her best reviews of that interview were, well, she got through it. Well, I think the bar should be a little bit higher than she survived a CNN interview, right? So, yeah, I think that this debate, again, Trump just has to be disciplined. Stay away from you're incompetent, you're dumb, all the insults he doesn't need. He has every issue on his side. Economy, inflation, crime, the border, foreign policy, all of it. He just has to be the Trump that he was with Joe Biden on June 27th in Atlanta.
Yep, and we just have a few seconds left, Joe. Real quick, Tim Walz, her running mate, is also dodging the media. He gets asked a basic question at the fair yesterday. An important question about the hostages that were killed, and he doesn't even answer that. I mean, it's like he's kind of taking the same strategy.
Yeah, he hasn't done any interviews either, right? He did that one where I guess he answered like 2 or 3 questions from Dana Bash. But yeah, all he says is goodbye. When you're asked about American hostages that were executed, that's your answer? So, yeah, worst VP pick I can remember ever. All she had to do was pick Josh Shapiro, and that would help her win Pennsylvania. And she went with this clown instead. And now he's exposing himself as well as the stolen valor guy and the guy who let Minneapolis burn to the ground. And apparently somebody else who's afraid to talk to the media. It has not been a good 2 weeks for this campaign, no question.
Yeah, no question about it. Joe Concha, thank you so much. Really great to have you here, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Always awesome. Thanks, guys. Take care.